Okay, we're playing more Great Ace Attorney. This recording is pretty far away from the last one. I think it's been 2 weeks since I recorded the last one. So, I'm sorry if my voices are off. That's my bad, completely. Alright, I think I know what to do. I'm smart, I've played this game before, I'm not looking at a walkthrough.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. No, I just opened up the game and I have to voice Pain. As you have been at pains to point out, Pains, get it? Because his name translates to pain. As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. Oh my gosh. And yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Okay, I hope I remember his voice. Fortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. It's a quiet time between lunch and dinner at any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Oh gosh. What did he sound like? Oh, good grief, this is gonna be rough. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. Okay. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. Why has this not been presented to the court yet? What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure it has no bearing that where the victim went before he was murdered. I'm sure it doesn't matter at all. I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. This is why Kazuma's the attorney. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? Better not. I like the way it's worded. Better not. No, obviously we're asking for it.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? That it's from the day of the murder, like, Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. No, I think that they are, considering that he died. I do believe that they are. Whether or not they are of crap. Okay, sorry, I'm mad. Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I can't speak today. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defense's request.
Oh. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend.
Oh, kids these days are asserting their rights. That's so good. I love it. I love it. I love that he uses modern phrases and but written old, you know? That's good. That's gold. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Okay. Sick. Okay, well we need to look at that anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I can't. How do I look at it? Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I mean, I can't read, so I can't read the medical report card. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. Can you even see, Ryunosuke? I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? What else? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You literally open it. Like, You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. Those are the ones you may examine. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use R, 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 R. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using LOL. It's so slow. Oh my gosh. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that you may have missed before. The crosshairs start to... I'm a child, okay? If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Need to use and to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. This report card looks so suspicious. It says "Hot a clinic" on this medical report card. I hate clinics, almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? No, going to the hospital is not the same as getting surgery. When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. He's so lucky. He's cracked. His immune system is goated. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. That's his trauma. That's his traumatic backstory. That he got a vaccine. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Hey, Kazuma, what gave you that idea, man? Looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. I hope he's making good grades on his medical report card. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. That was stupid. I'm sorry. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I'd imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, it looks like you're gonna die pretty early, bud. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors, then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible-tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege, all when you're at your lowest ebb. Dude, you sound like a modeled patient. The bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is a very bitter medicine indeed. My blade. Oh, I see he got good grades on his medical report card. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Seems he was scoring really well in medical history, but not so much medical math or science. Okay, that's done. That joke is done. It's retired. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. That's pretty stupid, don't you think? I just got done saying that if you're dead, there's no need to go to a doctor. His efforts were futile. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? Seems so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they'd used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. I know it's wild, right? But you would never have it, no matter what. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. That sounds relevant. Really? It's like information worth bearing in mind. Obviously. I mean, to be fair, Dr. Wilson could just be a bad patient. Like, he could just be terrible.
Yes.
Well, I think, What are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? No, I don't. Wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. But you weren't going to school to be a lawyer. Why are you... Okay. Ryunosuke? Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. once I play the escapade case for this, that will be a very funny line from him. Just keep that line in mind. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. You raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. I love he's giving us a pep talk. How sweet. It's a good animation. Korokuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what? What are you on about, old man?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish dribble.
Sorry, interrupt? This is a cross-examination. You're supposed to ask questions. You are interrupting, actually, because I don't think that the prosecution is supposed to speak during cross-examinations. Or at least during this cross-examination, because these are his witnesses.
It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
But that's, Kazuma, please just say it for me. Remember, Ionosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could...
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? Oh, look at him go! Look at him go! He's got some nerve now.
What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hotta Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Yes, you need to go to one. Got him. Got him. Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? What do you mean, so what? He was at a restaurant. It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't.
You should look at your evidence, Pain. Sorry, ouchie. Ouchie, you need to look at your evidence. Korokuta-san.
What, boy? What?
That voice is straining. As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. That cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Expertly done, partner. Look at him go. He did such a good job. We love it for him. We love that for him. He's getting some confidence.
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence.
I'm so sorry. It had to be done.
You You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Yeah, it's someone else's, idiot. Use your head. If you even have one. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about, or can't you follow the logic? Oh.
How dare you!
I'm sorry, you're an idiot. You don't deserve to be a prosecutor. I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Yeah! Woo! Making puns in the courtroom. Let's go! We have fun in these trials. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. He wasn't paying attention. He was like, oh, he looks so good and dashing. He looks so dashing with his ribbons flying behind him. Gosh, he speaks so well. Oh, you were talking to me? Yeah, sure. Yeah, what he said. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? It was me. I was eating the beef steak. Court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Counsel? Oh! That means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. A turnabout, one could say. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been me! Okay, well, we have to. Right, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been me. Yes! I think it may have been me. What?
It's not enough that you took the man's life, but you took his meal as well. That's a bee sting on a crying face. Some people seem to think they can do whatever they like.
And some people seem to think they can say whatever they like. Ryunosuke, I know you've been rewinding time after you say stupid things. Sorry, you're right. Of course I didn't eat it. So next time you make a quip like that, I'll make you eat your words. Oh my gosh. Then you'll be needing some dental surgery yourself. Oh my god. I did not know he said that. See, I love this arc of him because he's just really violent for no reason. It's so funny. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Also, Kazuma, why don't you remember seeing her? You were there. Why didn't you see her? If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, I'll kill you all with my bare hands. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma, you would do that for little old me?
Are you saying you would take on the government?
Yes. It's somebody who's gonna, like, get the death penalty. Yes, I will. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses on the stand.
What?
What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you'll also be deemed complicit in the killing. Okay, that's not how that works. Surely that's not how that works. Complicit in a murder? No! That's the two of them yelling. Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting! I was just following orders! That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. That's really good timing. What? What did you just say, Korakuta-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders.
Now, hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas? What?
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Just one simple slip of the tongue! It really wasn't, because, like, we've proven that there was somebody else there. Like, we already knew that you were lying. Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. I don't know, and it's not my job to find out. It's painfully clear now, you tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified! So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You said complicit earlier, now you're saying conspirator? Dude, you're lying. You're straight up lying. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You wouldn't. This can't be happening! Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. Okay, I'm just gonna look at something real quick, because I think we can examine it now. No reason. There's no reason I'm looking at it. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point, idiot. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau? Goodness, that's a mouthful. I didn't expect it to go that long. I didn't take big enough of a breath. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make these witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... I wonder if it's that card that we just looked at. Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Kazuma, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we already did that. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. Okay, I get it, dude. Jeez. I want answers! Okay, dude, chill. It's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated. I assure you the penalty will be severe. Okay.
Please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this, well, Your Excellency? No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Oh dear. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Yes! There! What do you make of that? He really did close his eyes.
I think, Counsel, that you may want to close your ears as well as your eyes. Otherwise, the sighs of disappointment in the courtroom may very well deafen you.
Ah,
If you feel you must close your eyes in a crisis, might I suggest you keep your mouth shut next time, too? Otherwise, I may have to use the influence I have in this courtroom to shut it permanently.
oh my gosh. Why does everybody want to kill him? I don't know what it is about that prosecutor exactly, but he really makes me wince in pain sometimes. Yes, they acknowledged it. Okay, I don't think I joked around last time I played this, so that's really funny. I don't have a great deal of influence myself, but believe me, I can find other ways to make you keep your mouth shut as well. He's gonna kill us. But everybody wants Runo dead. Okay, fine. I guess it's this guy. Gosh. I really thought it was Kazuma, though. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
I'm a child. I'm a child, eh? I'm reading this in his voice especially.
Poppycock!
No. Oh my gosh, no, I have to do it. I have to do it with straight face. I have to keep going.
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosanaga's real identity is proven by this evidence. My badge. It shows that I'm a university student. Okay, yeah, no. It's this.
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. It's the front of the back of the card. Oh, I love that little that little dialogue sequence so much.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
He didn't figure out that that means flip the card over. Really? Judge. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession.
The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious!
Yeah! I love saying good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Quite a long title, if I do say so myself.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
Because you didn't flip over your evidence? I don't know what to tell you, buckaroo. The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. Wasn't he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well...
Ooh, he won't even say anything. Oh, hold it. Who's holding it? Oh, he's back. Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. I hope this is my voice. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. I don't follow my guiding principle very well, but I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Your salary must be terrible. Dang. Undercover? Yes. And not under the bed covers. Undercover. Like I was in disguise? Yes, that one. Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. I'm sure.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question.
Yeah, he's the one that told them not to. Have we not made that obvious? He's the one that said shut up about it.
However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
I'm sorry, your, like, little fatal plot disease, I heard someone call it that, I have to. Your little fatal plot disease isn't getting you out of this one, bud.
Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable! You tell him. As I suspected. Oh my gosh, someone shot in the courtroom! No! Everyone get down!
So, as soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. Immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say?
Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders.
But what if this Englishwoman was the real killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interests not to pursue that idea.
Dang. Is that a threat, Hosonaga?
The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment, including solving a murder. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, it would be completely out of the question.
Well, it's out of the question to name anyone as a suspect without irrefutable evidence, isn't it?
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case.
But it's not right!
You look so goofy.
Hello?
One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Cosma?
Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman.
What?
A shrewd man. Can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
How does he know that? Did they say it? Did they mention it? Why does he know that?
You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yumei University's medical faculty.
What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of the lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It's now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
I'm going on a lunch break. I'm sick of this. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. Yeah, you tell him.
But, Your Excellency, I was so close to winning. That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. So, our own government would surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. You tell him, man.
Oh.
You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means he'll be going against the special orders he were given from the police bureau.
It's a little late for that, isn't it? Like,
as I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
So, it won't be a problem? I think it will be a problem.
Nothing will get in my way.
Except for, like, tuberculosis. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. The defense is not allowed to call the witness. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. I don't know why. I really like the music for the antechamber. It's very nice. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It's a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying! If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again! Anyway, I don't care about your trauma. Looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. We've exposed her? That's not very kind, is it? There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I forgot. I don't pay attention to much of what you say, partner. Might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted from away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. Noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, for some reason. Still don't know why they pick up the guns. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. Well, yeah, if it's that close to you, it's gonna ring. So, like, it's gonna sound like it came from everywhere. The waiter ran over to me looking white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shot in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Hi. Professor Mikatoba. Well, it seems I was right. I've forgotten my voice. Pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. The modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. Oh. What? What are you saying, Cosima? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Cosima? Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. I don't care to learn your name. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. Yeah, we just said that. It was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, I'm about to go into battle. Get that sword ready, Cosima. You're going to need it. Samurai battling ouchie? That's so funny. I love that concept. Okay. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprits as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman's involvement in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. I've no doubt that you pair put up a good fight right to the last. I know you'll lose, though. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. Something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Cosima-sama. Dang, okay. Defendant Naruhodo, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back into it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. Oh, okay. Old fossils. Cosima? You aren't going to kill anybody, are you? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. I'm found guilty in this trial. He's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. It's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. You like a meal from your college's cafeteria? Weird champ. With an extra large portion, of course. Most expensive one they have, please? Prosecutor Ouchie, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Subpoena's such a weird word.
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from our government.
Whose fault is that, Pain? Sorry, Ouchie. I keep calling him Pain. Sorry. Don't apologize to him. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed.
Not my problem.
But you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. I mean, he's spitting.
Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
Okay, old man. Okay, boomer. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A court that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Get 'em! Get 'em!
Oh.
Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. Well, yeah, because I'm the one that might get killed by the end of today.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency!
Gosh.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
Did I hear the defense say guilty? Lock him up!
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
I don't know how to voice that, so I'm not saying anything.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
This is so dumb.
Lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England.
Yeah, you're a good translator, considering how much bias you have in this case to protect her. I I'm sure you're a great translator to have.
She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMA University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
Beautiful. As far as I can tell,
Detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Cosma. English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. Clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett.
also, her theme song unnecessarily slaps. I'm so mad that it slaps. It's so good.
3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Hey, how'd she understand him to respond? He's like, yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, Jazz. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. Oh, so she didn't respond. Okay, got it. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, and that she couldn't be bothered to deal with this murder that happened right in front of her. Oh my gosh. I know that you're dead, but like, I've got a presentation to make. I'm sorry, I can't, like, sacrifice school for this. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print?
Longest way to say look at this photograph.
Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Not warm blood like comes out of my mouth. Warm, cold blood. Order! Order in the court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Do I win? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Okay, guilty. Done. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Cosima, you're not going to kill her, are you? Of course. Fortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Oh, she just nodded. Never mind. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I don't know. I should probably cut the recording here because I've been going for a while. I don't know how much Final Cut can render. Okay, I'm cutting it here. We have been introduced to Giselle Brett. Next time we will see Giselle Brett. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it cut off so short last time. I had a lot of problems with editing and rendering and all of that stuff. So, yeah, this time I'm giving a real outro. So, goodbye. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll watch more. Yeah.